No, you are welcome to class. You must have heard about sentence structure before now. And by structure, we mean subject, verb, object. This is the popular structure. Isioku, ngwa, na nara. These are the structures we know of sentences. But today, we are dwelling on special rules for Igbo sentence. Usoro puru iche maka ide ahịrị okwu Igbo. These are rules that may not be stated in books, but if you know them, it will take you a long way in making it easy for you to write Igbo sentences. Let's look at the rules. 3 rules we are considering today. Number 1, the use of pronouns. Number 2, the vowel agreement. And number 3, the use of na in Igbo sentence structure. Let's go to number 1 right away. What is number 1? The use of pronouns. Pronouns are called nochi aha in Igbo language. Nochi aha, pronouns. Let's see how to use them. First, we look at the first person pronoun. How do we use this first person pronoun in Igbo sentence structure? We have 4 of them: I, me, my, and mine. All these 4 first person pronouns are all represented in Igbo language sentence as mo, mo. But in most cases, we reduce it to m only, or mo, as the case may be. Both are the same. Let's look at examples in sentences. We're talking about I, or or mu here. I am coming. Example, I am coming. In Igbo, we say anam abia. See the M in white, that is the M there. I, me. But let's look at another example. Give me time. We've looked at I. We are looking at me now. Give me time. What is that? Nyemo oge. We can also leave you out of this and say nyem oge. Only M can represent this. Let's move on from here. Another example we have here is my. This time around, we've looked at me. We're looking at I. We're looking at my here. Is my bag. Is my bag. In Igbo, it is obo, apam, the same M representing my here. Further example is mine. Now we're looking at mine. Remember, we're talking about I, me, my, mine. It is mine. Obo, nkem. Nke here is talking about referring to something that belongs to you. Obo nkem is mine, possessive. We'll move on from here. And we are still looking at the pronouns. But this time around, second person pronoun is what we're considering. What are they? You, you are, yours. There are more actually. But let's limit ourselves to these 3. These 3 are represented in Igbo language by the word ge. But in usage, sometimes we remove G and we are left with only A. It becomes A, but actually it is ge. Let's see how they are used in sentences. We're talking about second person pronoun, you, this time around, you. How are they used in sentence? Who gave you is a question. And Igbo, we have onye nyere gi. Onye nyere gi. So gi here represents you. Further examples, we look at what do you want? What do you want? In Igbo, gịnị ka ị chọrọ? Remember, I told you that sometimes we remove the G and we're left with only I. Here we have the example. Gịnị ka ị chọrọ? What do you want? So I here represents you. But when does this come? This G is taken off, especially when you comes before a verb. So we have only I. Gịnị ka ị chọrọ? We don't say gịnị ka gị chọrọ, but gịnị ka ị chọrọ or gịnị ka ị chọrọ. That serves for that particular purpose. We are still on second person pronoun, but we're looking at you are or yours this time around. Let's see examples of you are or yours. We have your sister is here. What do we have here? One negi one. One generally is a relation, but one is referring to a woman relation. One negi one no eba. So you are is ge. One negi one neba. Further example. It is yours. This time around, yours, possessive. It is yours. In Igbo, it is obo. Obo, nke gi. So, gi here is talking about yours, but nke is referring to a particular thing that belongs to you. It is yours. Obo, nke gi. We are still moving on now, and we are still on pronoun. But this time around, we're looking at third person pronoun, and we are dividing it into 3. We have subject, object, and a group pronoun. But first, let's look at the subject when it is third person pronoun. What do we have in subject of third person pronoun? We have he, she, or it. All of them, three of them are represented by one word in Igbo language, in fact, one alphabet. We have it as either O or O. These are different alphabets in Igbo language. O without dot under or O with dot under. We'll explain to you how when to use O and when to use O as we move on in this lesson. But let's look at examples in sentence. He or she is coming. Remember I said he, she, and the rest are all represented by O or O. He or she is coming. O na-abịa in Igbo. This O or O serves for both sexes, both either male or female, both gender goes with this O. It doesn't differentiate at all. O na-abịa. Let's look at another example. He or she lives here. Obi eba. Obi eba. See the difference now? We use O here. Here we use O. But you understand as we move on why we should use O instead of O as the case may be. Let's move on. We are still looking at subject. This time around using it as the subject. It is good. What do we have in Igbo? O dị mma. O dị mma. It is good. So O goes for both male, female, or objects. All of them are covered with this particular alphabet O. Another example, it is wet. O dere mmiri. Remember, we are looking at when to use O and when to use O, but you will understand that as we move on in this lesson. We are now talking about object. We finish with third person subject. We're now dealing with third person object. What do we have? We have three examples also. Him, her, or it, as the case may be. All of them are represented by a single word in Igbo, which is ya. Ya. Ya stands for all this wherever you find them in a sentence or when you are making a sentence object. Let's look at example. Give him or her food. Give him or her food. Nye ya nri. Ya here represents both male or female, and also it. You go for all of them when you are making a sentence or writing Igbo sentences. Nye ya nri. Give him or her food. Let's see another example with it. Give it to me. Nyem ya. You can see that ya also stands for it, as you can see from the color code. Ya stands for it, or him or her. All are represented by the word ya in Igbo sentences. Now let's look at plural when they are group of words referred to or covered with a pronoun. How do we represent them in Igbo sentence? Let's look at group of words. Pronoun that represent groups or many people together. They, them, or their, as the case may be. All these are represented in Igbo language with the word ha, they, them, their, ha. Let's see examples in sentences. Now, sentence one we look at here is they are here. They are here. Ha no eba. Ha no eba. The color code will tell you what ha represents there. There. Now let's look at another example. Please call them. Please call them. Example, biko kpọọ ha. So whether it is they or them, the ha recovers both in Igbo sentences. We're now going to look at another one, which is their, possessive. It is their house. Ọbụ ụlọ ha. The same thing, ha represents their in this case. We are moving on now to rule number 2, the vowel agreement. We call it ndakorita udaume. Udaume in Igbo language means vowel. So ndakorita is agreement of vowel. So we are going to first of all look at Igbo vowels. How many are they? There are 8 in number. A, E, I, O, U, O. These are 8 Igbo vowels. Of course, vowels are alphabets we pronounce while letting air flow out of our mouth without restriction, while consonants are those ones we pronounce by restricting the flow of air from our mouth. So these are Igbo vowels: A, E, I, o, u, o. But these vowels are grouped into two. We have udamfe, which is light vowels. And what are they? A, E, O, O. Those ones that have dot under with A leading all of them. And we now have udaro, heavy vowel. What are they? Those ones that have no dot under, led by E, which is pronounced as E in Igbo language, and A is pronounced as A in Igbo language. So these are the two groups of vowels. These two groups will determine where or what to use in a sentence. They must always go together. That is the agreement. Let's look at it properly. What is the agreement? The agreement we are looking at is that the vowels of the same group will always go together. That is the agreement. And now let's look at the two groups. Udamfe, as you know, light vowels. I've told you it is A, E, O, O. Udaro, heavy vowels. A, E, O, U. These groups always go together in sentences. You don't separate them. They go together in sentences. We're going to look at examples now of this vowel agreement. See this sentence. Asịrị m ya bịa. Asịrị m ya bịa. I asked him to come. Look at, this is the leader. A. The vowels with dot under will always follow, especially in the next word that follows it will come that way. Look at this. A again. Another vowel with dot under. A again. Now look at another group with another sentence led by E. It will be vowels without dot under. Esirim ofe. Esirim ofe. Esirim ofe. I cooked soup. That is a practical example. We'll look at another one. O mirim poro. Vowel with dot under goes together. Then that is a light vowel. It bears seed. Now look at the heavy vowels now. O mirino uru. All are heavy vowels. O without dot under. O without dot under. I without dot under. You without dot under. Heavy vowels is sank beneath. O mirina okuru. We're now going to rule number 3, which is the use of na. Na is ubiquitous in Igbo language. It is used virtually in every part of Igbo language. But look at 5 practical examples of where na is used in Igbo sentences. We have 1, preface to the first person pronoun I. Number 2, preface to verb in the present tense form. Number 3, preface to all prepositions if it comes before all prepositions. Number 4 is used as conjunction. And finally, na is used in reported speech. We look at them one by one. Number 1, preface to the first person pronoun. Let's see examples in sentence. I am coming. Anam abia. Look at na, underline. Anam abia. I am coming. If you don't put it in this sentence, it's not complete in Igbo language. Anam abia. If you don't put it, it makes no meaning. You cannot say am abia. No. Anam abia. We'll move on to the next one. I am eating food. Anam eri nri. Anam eri nri. The na must be there for it to make sense. Let's look at the second usage. Preface to verb, especially in present tense form. Let's look at examples. They are running race, or they are running. Ha na agba also. Na agba. It must always come together. In fact, it comes as a compound word. Na agba also are running. Na agba. In present tense of a verb, that na must always be there when you are making that sentence. And another example, she is sweeping the house. O naaza ulo. Naaza. It must always come that way. Otherwise, it will not make the right sense in Igbo sentence. Let's look at third usage of na as preface to all prepositions. Preface to all prepositions. Examples here. We have, it is under the chair. It is under the chair. Ode na okpuru oche. But in usage, most times we remove the a here in front of a and use comma on top, which we call vowel swallow. 2 vowels don't come together in one place. One will give way for another one. So we have ode no okpuru oche. This na okpuru is turned to no okpuru here. Look at another practical example. Put it on top. Put it on top. Tinye ya n'elu, n'elu. So this is na elu, but na. A will give way to, the other vowel here. I call it vowel swallow. Tinye ya n'elu. Put it on top. We are moving on now to the number 5 use of na. Is used number 4 rather, used as conjunction, joining two words or two phrases or two clauses together. Let's look at example. Give me book and pen. Give me book and pen, which is nye m akwụkwọ na mkpịsị akwụkwọ. Pen is mkpịsị akwụkwọ. Na here is joining both the book and the pen together. Nye m akwụkwọ na mkpịsị akwụkwọ. Another example. Anụ na azụ dị n'ofe. Meat and fish are in soup. Anụ, meat, na, and azụ dị n'ofe. Na is used as conjunction in Igbo language. Finally, we use it in reported speech in Igbo language. Example, he said that blah 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 blah. He said that blah blah blah. Ọ sịrị na blah blah blah. That is Igbo. Ọ sịrị na blah blah blah. That is how to form a sentence using na. Another example, I heard that so thing happened. I heard that so thing happened. Anụrụ m na ihe dị otu a mere. Anụrụ m na so thing happened. This is how it goes in Igbo language. With this, we come to the end of our lesson today. We thank you for watching. We encourage you to watch this over and over until you understand all this and try practicing the sentences given here as example on your own without looking at this lesson video. And on the screen are other videos we think will be useful to you. We've recommended them to you. They are on the screen right away. Click on either of them, watch now, and thank us later. See you in the next video. God bless you. Chukwu gozie gị. Imeela.